And so I said, hey, you know what? It's my life. And if I want to walk around the beach naked, then I'm going to walk. Hey! Welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. Uh, do a little bit of comedy and culture and bullshit. Trying to do comedy in this culture in any format is a bit of bullshit. So I've already fulfilled two promises. There you go. I think that was English. Anyway, listen, it's about 20 after the hour. It's in the name, so I hope you know why you're here. So if you are, let's do this. And if you're not, and this is somehow not your cup of tea or offensive to you, you're probably looking in the wrong place. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. Oh, it's so fucking good to see you. Uh, I got it. Everything. If you're gonna smoke, you should make it. If you're gonna smoke, make it count. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Holy bejesus. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. No. I got it. I got it. Okay. Hey, welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. This is comedy and culture and bullshit, and I do it for 20 minutes. Smoke and Mirrors because it says so right there. This happened not because I had any aspiration to make this fancy enough to have a sign like the one that was there. This happened because we are all locked up together, alone, apart. And I was losing my mind, and so I've invited you here to do that with me. My therapist has suggested that I am not losing my mind, and also that there is a very small likelihood that I could run out of ideas or things to say. And so we are stepping out onto the breach to see if that's at all possible or true today. Let's see what that looks like. I really don't have much going on today. It's almost like I've been in lockdown, as have most of us, except the president, I guess, who just got on a helicopter this morning, because that is a thing that needed to happen, I suppose. So here we are. Here we are. I do have my hot cuppa. I hope you have a hot, warm bevy. A warm bevy. What's keeping me happy is a very good question, and I needed one because I really did come out here today with very little to talk about at all. One thing that's keeping me happy is weed. I'm not going to lie. I am aware of the enormous privilege that I possess. One, living in a state where it's legal. Two, having an actual medical necessity for it in having a sclerose. But I'm greedy, so I got multiple. And I was hoarding. I was hoarding scleroses. And also that it is no longer, and it's weird for me that this is true, it is no longer part of criminal culture. Almost everything that I've been a part of in my life has been or continues to be a part of criminal culture, right? Uh, Obviously, black, so that's criminal. There was a time in the history of gender fluid people that wearing a certain number of what were determined to be articles of clothing that belong to women would land you in jail. And so my earrings, I believe, and maybe the sweater would qualify today. Typically, I'm way over the edge. Since we've not been going out, it is harder to find the inspiration to get as fabulous for just me. Also, I've been doing quite a lot of filing, but that has been keeping me somewhat happy. Um, yeah, no, I've been smoking herbs since it was very illegal. Everywhere on the United States and on the planet, and I used to tour and travel during part of that time. And so I became a drug smuggler, would be, I guess, the technical term, in that I would have to smuggle my drugs everywhere that I went across the country. What I became aware of, though, as a touring musician, is that as I imagine the little bits of weed that were in my bag, just imagining the ginormous amounts of cocaine and other drugs that were in other people's bags. And so it brought me a level of comfort, which is why allegedly one time I allegedly smoked weed in the Las Vegas airport in the smoking section. Allegedly, I did. Definitely. So tattoos also were a part of criminal culture. I was getting those way before you could be like, hey, I'm bored. Let's go to a mall and get a tattoo and a smoothie. That was not a thing that you were going to make out of a Saturday or a Tuesday. You were going to deal with a gang of some repute or a criminal, certainly, or in my case, a white supremacist club to get your first tattoo. Pretty good story. Happy ending. I'm alive. And it's a bad tattoo. They fucked it up. They fucked it up. I don't think that was on accident. They did call in their gang leader man to determine what they should do with me once I was, in the chair, which I was for sure because I had been dropped off there by my German exchange roommate, with this white girl named Name. And it was in the middle of nowhere. Unincorporated Thornton at the time, which now is like it's a suburban area in Colorado. But then there was nothing there but except for this gang outpost where they were doing tattoos. And I recognized what it was, sort of from the outside, but once I walked in, knew exactly where I was. And Mr. Gang Leader Man came in whilst I was on the table and said, the only color that I see here today is green. Do the work, they leave. So I'm alive. It's bad. It's bad. Luckily, this was, again, when tattoos were illegal and it wasn't just a thing everyone was doing. So we were still doing like quarter-sized tattoos. Barely see it now, and you'll never see it because it's under several layers of clothes and near privates and such. How are your privates doing? How are your privates? I don't just mean the being untouched or only self-touched or in quarantine. I'm talking about, how are things looking down there? You doing okay? Don't neglect things, okay? We talked about this yesterday. If you're on a Zoom meeting, wear pants, at least pajama pants. So that you can be business up top, fun on the bottom, but you've got to have something on your legs. And also, and I'm not suggesting baldness. That's not what we're after here, right? Because that's because I am Well, I'm not a pedophile. So we're not saying, are you bald? Just, are you taking care? Or does it look a little bit like a wild horse? What are you doing? What are you doing? You taking care of yourself? I hope so. Also, don't answer that. I don't really care. I don't really care. I just had to say words. I've been making progress if you've been watching, and you should not have been. You should not have been. I, again, don't know what this is. I would not suggest to a friend that you should. But if you have been, then I've been doing some home improvements, and I want to report. I'm happy to report that I can eat on the dining room table once again. I can eat on the dining room table once again. So very, very pleased about that. All of the bills are gone from there. There is still quite a bit of filing to do, but the area that was the mail collection receptacle area is now again for dining. So very impressed with myself about that. Also happy to report that if anybody needs it, I've got you covered. If you need a little detective notebook, a little Columbo, one more thing, miss. I just if you need, I got you covered. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. In fact, I even have you in the mini composition book if need be, because you find things when you are clearing out things. You find stuff. Half size. We got the quarter size. Who needs a quarter? I got a couple of quarter sizes. That's something. So I got you covered. I got you covered. Don't worry about it. I have I have a spiral bound. If you need a spiral bound, I got that with animals on it. Even I bought this to write my life into existence, as they say. This was my dream book situation 2 years ago, and it was buried in a foot of mail. So let's smoke more weed. I told you I had very little today. It's almost like 50 days in. If you start broadcasting that you're actually going to intentionally talk about culture, you realize there is no culture happening right now. Nothing is fucking happening because there's killer wasps. Hey! So they sort of stole the spotlight along with the Rona, and there are maskless people still running around like assholes and spitting all over everybody. So I guess there's that. There's that to report on. Do you like a yellow pad? Does anybody miss the 80s? The 70s? If you miss the 70s or the 80s, I've got you covered. And quite frankly, I have a review for you as well. Right here, this brand, this Office Depot shit, this sucks. This is garbage. This is not a good pad. The tops, look at the binding. Look at the binding here. Look at this bullshit. You see that? It's all falling apart. It's not etched very well. That's garbage. It's garbage. Better, and this is bringing me joy to the earlier question, is the professional brand. But it's not really a brand. It's like an upscale label from Office Depot, the professional. But do you know what's the shit? I'm going to be honest with you. Prism. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got your multiple colors that are easier on the eyes, which is what the yellow is for as well. But this is, if you were from the 70s, you remember that, and it's horrible. The Prism, though, real shit right here. This is the taste. This is the dank nugs. of legal paper. I love, and what brings me joy is having actual office goods. And one thing I discovered in my massive pile of bullshit is that I have more office goods than I possibly need for anything ever. And so the other good thing about that is that should I run out of toilet paper, I'm covered. I'm covered. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about your girl. I got it. I got it. Well, I don't know if it's been 20 minutes, but it should have been because this is garbage that you will also be able to find on YouTube because my godbrother suggested that I should. And so now I will. And now this will be there. And so I look forward to those excellent reviews. Shout out to the review that I got in the live stream yesterday. I don't remember the name of the gentleman who said it, but I believe, let me quote, idiot. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Yeah. I will look into. I blocked him before I could really look into his profile. You can still see it in the comments from yesterday, and in fact, I'll post it again when this posts to both my YouTube and Facebook pages. I'll post it. I'll post a picture of it again, and then you can go look at his Facebook page yourself. And why I'm saying that is because clearly. He's a catch, and he's offering something to the world that I'm not, and you should probably figure out what that is. And hopefully, it's a good kind of a catch. It's not a catch like Rona. He's got a goatee. His cheeks are very pink, and he looks like he might, like, I don't know, hunting buffalo wings and titty bars. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I'll post his comments in my reply here when I get done, so you can enjoy that yourself. If you are so lonely that you're here and you've run out of shit to watch, so you sat through all of this bullshit, and it's worth a shit to you, listen, you're more than welcome to share that with anybody that you want to. It's a thing called smoke and mirrors. Here it is. Some people like to share it. If you want to share it, I welcome you to do that at your own risk. I will not be responsible for what an asshole your friends think you are from this point forward if you think this is a valuable thing to share. And they won't have been wrong. So, in fact, I dare you. I dare you to share it. In fact, this is kind of a prank I'm pulling and just seeing who I can trick into sharing it. Speaking of that, some people do that sometimes. And the ones who did yesterday, I would like to shout out. Those were Cameron, Jessica, and Chantrell. Thank you so much. We call that a passing DJ, man. I like to say that with a really thick, bad patois Jamaican accent, like a white person with dreads. If you find this so valuable that you want to contribute to whatever the fuck it is, then if you do, then this is your fault. Truly. So today, this is Rick's fault. So shout out to my guy Rick. We were at the University of Colorado together many years ago when he was balding and I was still bald. Shaved my head very young. So shout out to Rick for putting 5 on it. Pow! Appreciate that. That was dumb. Let's never do that again. That was embarrassing. I'm really, truly a little bit embarrassed I just did that. Let's never do that again for putting 5 on it. I'm sorry. Listen, honestly, I do appreciate you being here. I appreciate you spending a little bit of time on whatever this dumb project and experience is. It's going to keep growing into a bigger, more organized thing. You will have the opportunity to avail yourself of that experience as well. Consider this the beta. Consider this the lead up. Consider me the king of the beta. Consider me King Beta Cuck. And this is the King Beta Cuck experiment. So this has been Smoke and Mirrors. I love you. Take care of yourself. I think I said all the things, but if I forgot any, I'll just get producer's notes later. And yeah, I'll deal with that then. In the meantime, please do wash your hands, okay? Because you're fucking disgusting. Just wash your hands.